are so pretty, 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 pretty. Baby girl, you are so pretty, 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 pretty. Females made you just to trick me, trick me, trick me, trick me.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Julie Jules World. Okay guys, let's go ahead and get right into our project. So what you're going to need today is you're going to need some scrapbooking paper, 2 scrapbooking paper, which is the outside base and the inside base. And this is going to be measured 11 1/4 of an inch by 7 1/2 of an inch. And so you're going to need 2 of those, all right? And then you're going to go ahead and corner punch just the right side to get those out of the way. Go ahead and get a scoring board. All right, at the 11 1/4 of an inch, guys, you're going to be scoring at 5 inch, then at 6 1/4 of an inch, and then in between that, you're going to be filling those gaps with the scoring lines, guys. Just fill them up with the scoring lines. All right, and we do the same thing for the other one as well. So I have 2 of them, look like that. And go ahead, let's put that aside, guys. Now you're gonna need 2 more scrapbooking paper that measures 4 1/2 inch by 7 1/2 inch. In the 4 1/2 inch section, you're gonna be scoring at 2 inch, then at 3 1/2 inch. And then we're just gonna fill in those gaps like we did the other one. Okay, and then you're gonna do the same thing for the other one as well. All right, you should now have 2 of them like that. And then we're gonna be corner punching these as well. This end here, these 2 ends, we're gonna be corner punching. Okay, and put those aside. We're gonna need another scrapbook paper that measures 3 inch by 6 1/2 inch, and then you're gonna put that aside. And you're gonna need 2 more scrapbooking paper, measures 3 1/2 inch by 4 1/2 inch. And let's go ahead and score these. So now at the 4 1/2 section, you're gonna score this at 1 1/2 inch, and then at 2 inch. Okay, and then go ahead and fill that gap in, and then you're gonna do the same thing with this one. You have 2 of them, it looks like that, and corner punch these 2 ends. Okay, all right, so let's put that aside. The next measurement for your credit card holder, okay, and you're going to need 3 of those. That measures 3 inch by 3 inch. All right, so put that aside. And then you're gonna need another scrapbooking paper, and this measures 2 1/2 inch by 2 1/2 inch. And this is for the pen holder. You're gonna be scoring this at 3/8 of an inch, and then at 5/8 of an inch. You're gonna fill in those gaps. Now it should look like that, guys. And so go ahead and put this aside. We have 1 more paper. It's going to be measured 11 1/2 inch by 6 inch. Okay. On the 6 inch section, guys, you're going to score at 4 1/2 inch. We're going to score again at 4 3/4 of an inch. All right. So we score 4 1/2 inch, and then we're going to score at 4 3/4 of an inch. Go ahead and rotate that, guys, and turn it to the 11 1/2 inch. And then we're going to score at 1 inch, and at 1 3/4 of an inch, then at 2 1/2 inch, score at 9 inch, then at 9 3/4 of an inch, then at 10 1/2 inch. Right, and that's it for that, guys. So we're gonna be cutting this out. So let's go ahead and cut this piece out here, that, and those three we're gonna be cutting out. Okay. Okay, guys, and now it should look like that. And go ahead at these two ends and cut this little piece off this end too. Now it should look like that, guys. Okay. Go ahead and pull those scoring lines through. Pull the first one, guys, and then pull the second one backwards, and then pull it that way again, like that. Okay. I'm gonna cut this piece off too, guys. Let's go ahead and cut this piece off as well. Forgot about that. I just noticed that. I'm like, that has to go too. There's a little chunk at the top, extra line. You see that extra line? You're gonna cut that off as well. Okay. All right, that looks better. So, and then we're gonna be folding these score lines as well. Now it should look like that. Okay. Like that. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and pull through those other score lines for everything else. Let's get the first two scoring lines and keep on scoring those, guys, until it's flexible. We want a good scoring line in between, and in between just go ahead and curve that, curve the inside of scoring lines. Guys, okay, we want to sit like that. Do the same thing for this one too as well, and then just go ahead and pull through all the scoring lines that you have in this one, and do the same thing for these and these ones as well. Okay, and anything that has scoring line, guys, just go ahead and pull it through. You should have everything, like all the scoring line pulled through for everything, guys, and now it should look like that. Okay. Let's go ahead and get our two base, taking those two, the 11 1/4 of an inch by 7 1/2 inch, and this 4 1/2 inch by 7 1/2 inch. We're going to be taking those two, and we're going to combine these two together like that. And then we're going to do the same thing for these two as well. Okay. Make sure you don't be on top of the scoring lines, guys. Like, give it some room. You can fold it over when you do it. Okay, and it should now look like that, guys. And do the same thing for the other one too. Both of these should look like that now, guys. All right. All right, so once you're finished doing all that, guys, we are going to be putting some fabric on these. Go ahead and get your adhesive spray. And you're gonna cover this all with fabric, guys. Once you cover it all with fabric, guys, it should now look like this, guys. Everything should be all set. All right, you should have two of these. Okay, you should have this all set in place. Your credit card holders, you should have that all fabric, and the pen holder, and then your two base. Should be all covered in fabric, guys. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and put this together, guys. Inside base. This is going to be inside, and this is the outside base. So let's go ahead and get our inside base, guys. So the first things first, we're going to go ahead and get our pocket. Okay, this is the pocket that's going to sit right here, inside here, because our A6 binder going to be sitting in here, and this is going to be what holds it, the sleeve, kind of like a pocket. It's our credit cards on this, guys. All right, so let's go ahead and get the credit cards and this as well, and we're going to be placing those on there. We're going to take the first credit card and we're going to measure it. The top here is going to be an inch, guys. Okay, you're going to drop it down to inch, and then you're going to place in position, make sure it's center, and then we're going to be sewing right here underneath here. And once you do that, We're gonna measure it one more time, and we're gonna do 1.5 inch. It's gonna sit from the top one. We're gonna put it down there, the second one, and then we're gonna sew that on there. And then you're gonna measure another 1.5 inch from the top here, from the second one, and measure it out. And then we're gonna sew right along here, okay? So let's go ahead and do that. You should now have it all sewn. All 3 of those should be sewn in place, like that. Okay? So let's go ahead and finish it up. We're gonna be sewing down the edges, this end and this end, to lock these in, okay? Now it should look like this, guys. All sections are sewn in, okay? And you can be able to place your credit cards right there, guys, like that, okay? So now that we finished with that, guys, let's go ahead and put our pen holder in there. And so you're gonna be putting your pen holder right here, 2 inch from the top, guys. And then make sure you stay away from the scoring line, guys. Make sure it's inside of the scoring line and not over it, okay? And then we're gonna sew down this section here, this end, and then we're gonna sew down this section here as well, okay? It's gonna be looking like that, guys. Now look like that. Credit card holder, and we're gonna be putting it right on top of there. Make sure you stay away from the scoring lines, okay? So away from the scoring line a little bit, and then we're gonna be sewing right down here, the edge. Then we get to the next step. Okay, guys, you should now have it sewn all the way down on the side. It should now look like that, guys, okay? Good, let's go to next step. Let's go ahead and get our 2 strap closures. Let's go ahead and get some Velcro too as well, guys. And you're gonna need about 2.5 inch Velcro, okay? Measure it, and it's gonna measure from the top. You're gonna put about 1/2 inch, okay? 1/2 inch from the top, and center that, guys. And then I like to put glue just to keep it still. Just a little bit glue also. And you're gonna be sewing all the way around on this, okay, guys? You set that in place, and let's go ahead and set this in place over here as well. And then we're gonna be putting this was gonna be what, 1 inch from top to bottom is gonna be 1 inch, guys, and make sure you center it as well, okay? And glue that in place, and then we're gonna sew around that too. Those are the 2 steps you're gonna do, and then we get back to the next step. I'll have your Velcro sewn on to the strap closure, both of the Velcros, okay? Sewn on there. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and put that aside for right now. Let's go ahead and get our base as well, outside base. So let's go ahead and get our Velcro, a 3 inch Velcro, and we're gonna be putting it right here, guys, on the inside, okay? Not the outside, but the inside base. About 1/2 inch, centering it, and you're gonna put it in place. All right, and I always like to use glue. And we're gonna have to do the other side here. And now, same thing with this too, about 1/2 inch. And then go ahead and set that in place, guys. Then you're gonna be sewing this on, guys. You're gonna take this off of here, and you're gonna sew on this, sew all the way around, and then you're gonna do the same thing for this one too. You're gonna sew around, okay? Make sure you separate them, guys. Sew it separately. So sew this on there, and then do the same thing for this. Then also with your strap closure, you're gonna be sewing this together. You're gonna sew all the way around, guys. Okay? And we'll get to the next step. All right, guys, you should now have your outside base, the Velcro sewn in place, as well as the inside base. Your Velcro should be sewn in place as well. And then your strap closure should be also sewn around, guys, okay? You should sew all the way around, guys, on that. Okay. Next step we're gonna do is we're gonna place this in position. So we're gonna be placing it on this side, guys, okay? And we're gonna be centering this, make sure it's centered, and then the foam, make sure you pull through the score lines, guys. It helps so you can see exactly where to put this. You're gonna place it at the bottom of this, make sure it's not on top of the score line. And we're gonna put it right here, and we're gonna center it, okay? Make sure it's centered. And then we're just gonna be gluing this down inside of here. We can glue it down, and then we can put some tape on there too, guys. We're putting, make sure we get our base. All right, make sure everything is lined up. So let's go ahead and sew all the way around everything in place, guys. All right, and then we get to the next step. Okay guys, you should now have it all sewn around, guys. Okay, good. So our next step, the last one, is going to be where we put our little pouch. So let's go ahead and do that. On the inside, guys, I'm going to be covering it with some scrapbooking paper. This is totally optional for you. You don't have to. I'm going to cover it inside because I want a clean finish. And I think I'm going to be doing the 2 edges here as well, like that. If you want to do that, go ahead and do that step right now. And if you don't, you can leave it out. And I get to the next step in a little bit. But I'm going to go ahead and cover these with scrapbooking paper. And once I'm finished, we'll get to the next step, guys. Okay, guys. So now I have the scrapbooking paper all set in place, guys. Okay. So now we're going to put this together, guys. And we're going to fold this down. Now we're going to bring this over here like that, okay? And we're going to glue right here and right here so they can stick in place, guys. You can use your hot glue gun if you want to. So just a little bit right there, the edge of the glue, and then you're gonna fold that over like that. Okay, and just hold that down in place for a little bit. And it should look like that, guys. And let's go ahead and center this. Get the center, and make sure you stay away from that square line. You're gonna center that. This helps to, if you line it up with this, it'll help to know where your center's at. Okay, and I always like to mark it. You can always erase it out, guys. Just gonna stay away from those edges. We're gonna get our glue or fabric glue, or you can do your hot glue gun and use that too. And we're gonna put fabric glue all over this. Don't be shy, guys. Put a lot of it on there. And then we're gonna place it on those areas that we marked. Okay. You're gonna hold that down really good. Just for a minute or 2. Press down on it with force, guys. And sometimes I go inside and just press down some of it too. Press down. Okay, and you let that dry. Okay, guys, now it should be all set in place. All right, it should now look like that. Nice and clean that looks. And you should be able to close that in there like that. Let's get our credit card in there, and then put our pen in there, guys. It's beautiful so far. And so now for the last part, guys, this is where our A6 6-ring binder mechanism comes in. This right here I purchased from Amazon. With this, I also, let me flip it around. This is what it's gonna look like. I've placed that in there, guys, already, but I'm gonna let you know what I did. I bought this from Staples. You can get this from Walmart or any craft store, I believe. It's a chipboard. Okay, it's pretty thick and it's very sturdy, guys. It's very strong. This is the measurements that it is, if anyone's curious about that. This board here measures 4.5 inch by 6 3/4 inch. Okay, and you're gonna cut yourself a piece of chipboard because you need something sturdy. I cover it with fabric. It's your choice. That you don't have to do that. I cover it with fabric and then put some scrapbooking paper in the back of here. You don't have to do that. You can just leave it the way it is, white, plain, because you're not going to be seeing it anyways because you're going to be pushing it in there. But I just wanted to dazzle it up and make it look pretty and kind of match it. So I put some fabric on top of there. So it's really easy. That's very simple, very self-explanatory. Just get yourself a chipboard and then place the A6 binder mechanism, put it in the left corner right here, and then just mark that spot, punch a hole in the chipboard with your crocodile or whatever tools you want to use, and then you put the screw and then screw it in, guys, and then you have this right here. And I love it because it goes in. Just push it in, guys. It goes right into this, guys, and it flows easy in there. See that? It flows very good in there, and then you push this down, and there you have your binder placed in there. And I love it because if you don't want it in there, you take it out. Very easy, it slips right back out. Also, add a journal to it, guys. If you don't want the binder in there, guys, you can just put your journal, put a journal inside of there and slide it through that. And there it is. Oh my God, it's so awesome. I think it's an awesome switch out. If you get tired of the binder, you don't want that anymore, you can switch it out and go ahead and use journal, or you can make two of them where you have one for journal and one specifically for binder. I think it's beautiful. I love that idea. And it goes in, and then you can pull that out, and then you can replace this back in there if you don't want the journal, you just want the binder. Yeah, there it is, guys. Just print out some monthly planners, and then this is the pouch. I ordered this from Amazon, some extra pockets for to put money and my credit cards and other cards in there as well. And there's some more pockets here, and these are some dividers. I'm going to be adding more things to it. And then of course we have more credit cards that we install in there as well. It's beautiful, guys. And then you close it, guys. Make sure you push down with it, and make sure your pen stays in there. This pen needs to be closed up, not over it like that, but your pen needs to be pushed in, and when you close it, you get that nice closure right there, guys. Isn't that gorgeous? When you push this in, guys, make sure you push it all the way in, guys, okay? Make sure it's all the way in where it's touching this line, okay? You don't want it sticking out, because when you get ready to close this thing, it's gonna be hard for you to close it. So that's how you know it's not sitting properly. If you get ready to close it and it's tight and it's not closing, you want to push that in all the way in like that, okay, guys? And you want to put that there, and it's so easy to close then. All right, just wanted to let you guys know that. So I hope you guys enjoy this tutorial. If you like this channel and everything that brings this channel you want to support, just go ahead and press that heart button down below. And yes, guys, and I really appreciate that. So thank you all so much for watching. You guys will definitely see my next video. Okay, bye, my YouTubers.